Want to know why? Ask how. Howard, the humongous. Oy vey. Look, it's become fashionable to think that Arabs in Israel are like blacks in America. Arabs in Israel, we're told, are being brutally oppressed. That's the common wisdom. The common wisdom says the Arabs in Israel are fighting that oppression. But in fact, it's the Jews of the Middle East who have been treated like blacks, not the other way around. The Temple Mount is the cause of a current conflict, and it's a perfect example. There are 11 gates to the Temple Mount. 10 of them are reserved for Muslims only. The second-class gate, the 11th gate, is the gate through which Jews and all non-Muslims have to enter. That's apartheid. That's discrimination. And the world not only puts up with it, it supports it. But it's minor. The real problem is this. The Temple Mount was the site of the two buildings holiest to the Jews in all the 3,000 years of Jewish history. Those two buildings are the first temple, the Temple of Solomon, the temple Solomon built. You can read about it in the Bible. And the second temple. You can still see the second temple's western retaining wall. It's called the Wailing Wall. Now look, Muslims have 57 countries. Yes, 57 nations of their own, all of which they proudly call Islamic nations. They have a swatch of land 11 times the size of the conquests of Alexander the Great, 5 times the size of the Roman Empire, and 7 times the size of the United States. They have more holy sites than you can shake a stick at or easily count. On the other hand, the Jewish people have only one tiny nation and one key holy site. And that key holy site is the Temple Mount. In the last few weeks, a conflict over the Temple Mount has cost 7 Jewish lives and 44 Arab lives. But who is oppressing who? It is said that this conflict has been provoked by Jewish extremism. What does that allegation of Jewish extremism amount to? Jews want the right, are you ready? Brace yourself. Jews want the right to pray at their holiest site on planet Earth, the Temple Mount. Yep, you heard me right. They want the right to pray. And they are being denied it. We're told that the government of Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, has been acting provocatively. In fact, trying to deliberately stir up a provocation in order to score political points. But is this really true? Netanyahu has promised to enforce the ban that keeps Jews from praying at their holiest site. That is not exactly provocative. It's the opposite. It's a concession. But Eric Hoffer, in his book The True Believer, pointed out that when you make concessions, people want more of them. And finally, they demonize you on the basis of your weaknesses. And the more concessions they get, the more they demonize you. Meanwhile, the Arabs want a very peculiar form of human right. They want the right to riot. They want the right to stab Jews or run them down with cars. They want the right to march through the streets screaming, "Kill the Jews." And they want the right to stock their weapons, from stones and slingshots to Molotov cocktails, in one of the 3 Muslim mosques, Muslim buildings at the site. They want to store their weapons at Al-Aqsa Mosque. Now look, what other people has the international community supported in a so-called right to shout that another people, an entire people, should be killed? When the authorities in Myanmar, which used to be Burma, kill Myanmar's Muslim minority, we get upset. And we should get upset. But when Arab mothers dress their 3-year-olds as suicide bombers and celebrate killing of Jews, we keep our mouths shut. Look, in 1520, Cortez conquered the Aztec Empire, and he destroyed the Aztecs' leading temple, the Templo Mayor, in middle of Mexico City. Cortez, Christian conquerors, built Mexico's main cathedral, main Catholic cathedral, on the site. In other words, a Christian cathedral squats obscenely on the ruins of the temple holiest to the Aztecs. If modern-day Aztecs wanted their temple back, how would you feel? I'd support them. On the other hand, if modern-day Aztecs showed no desire to topple the Christian cathedral, but simply wanted to pray to their own gods at the cathedral site, at the site of their former holiest temple, would you try to stop them? I certainly wouldn't. Yet the world stands by while 3 Islamic buildings sit on the site of the only temple holy to the Jews, squatting obscenely in a celebration of an imperialist conquest. The world stands by while 3 Muslim buildings celebrate the Muslim conquest of Jerusalem, the 3,000-year capital of the Jews, in 637 AD. Very few Jews want to erase the Muslim holy buildings from the site. Very few want to do what the Romans did to the Jewish temple: sack it and destroy it. Very few Jews want to do what the Arabs did to the Jewish temple. Very few Jews want to put their own temple in the Jewish temple's place. Most Jews would simply want the right to pray without being stabbed and without being stoned. Is that really too much to ask? This is Howard the Humongous, speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make. Now, for that infinitely sneaky, sleazy, seditious, slimy, impossible to find, I think we've got it. Little off button. I think we've got it.